see who our special guest is, and I know that you are just as excited as I am to introduce her, the fabulous, the one and only Anabella! Hey, this is a message from Sarah and Abby. What? Hey, this is a message from Sarah and Abby. Well, we love you a lot. We love you a lot, especially That's the song that we made for Miss Anna because she's very special to us. A couple years ago.
Well, Miss, a year ago.
Was it a year ago? Congratulations with How do you feel coming back to BB Hart, Anna?
Very excited. I've missed being here.
Yes, we've missed you too, girl. You look great. You look fabulous. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm like, it's real. She's real, guys. It's not Zoom. She's real. She's right here, everybody. She's in the flesh. So, let's get things started. Miss Anabella is going to be talking to us about what value, Miss Anabella?
Chosen.
So, for this, we're inviting Miss Abby, Miss Noemi, everybody to come and join and sit down and support her. And whenever you guys are ready, go ahead.
Okay, well, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm pretty sure all of you guys know who I am. My name is Anabella. Yeah, I've been with BB Hart for about like 6 years now, and yeah, I'm just gonna talk about Chosen. I wanted to like start with saying that when Miss Saida told me that I was gonna be doing Chosen, I was honestly a tiny bit nervous because I feel like if you were to ask me like 5 years ago, like what does Chosen mean to me, I probably wouldn't know how to like give you an honest response. I'd probably just say like, oh well, we're here for a purpose, like, you know. But I wouldn't like, which is obviously what we're like, that's what Chosen is. But like, you know, you have to know it to yourself as well. Like you can't just, you know, say it. Like you have to mean it too. So I recently actually like kind of learned about it, which is kind of like new, like not new, but like, you know.
Recent.
Yeah, recent. So, if you guys like don't know, I go to a different school from all the big kids here at BB Hart. So I've been like separated from them at school for about like 4 years now, and I've had like 2 different friend groups, 2 different like, you know, yeah, yeah, 2 different cliques, 2 different people, 2 different groups of people that I've hung out with because of like obviously I'm at school, and then I obviously have my old friends that I've known since I was in kindergarten. So I had to like, you know, meet new people and have a new fresh like start, yeah, like a fresh start. Yeah. So I've been obviously doing this for the past 4 years, you know, and I love both friend groups, but recently this year, something like, I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest with you. I just felt different this year, and I don't know if it was growing up. I don't know if it was that. Yeah, but I guess like I just felt different, and I didn't really like understand why. And then around December, I started realizing that I felt different around both friend groups, and I didn't really understand that. But both were in like a positive way, neither negative, but I just felt like different. Like I don't even know if that makes sense when I say different. But yeah, I just felt like I had 2 different personalities. So then around December, I started realizing that, right? And I remember walking in January, coming back, and I go to put my bag on the hook, like what I always do here. I put my bag on the hook, and then I go to drink water. And I remember looking at the values and just being like, oh, like, this is what I've grown up doing for the past couple of years. Like, I know these values. And I don't know, that month, like, looking back at all of this, like, just this week, like, looking back at Chosen and stuff, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was going through this, and I don't really, like, it's not, like, in a negative way. I just, like, felt like that. Like, well, whatever. I walked in, and I saw the values, and it really, like, came to me. And I remember looking at Chosen and being like, well, if I feel different, if I feel different with both groups, there must be a middle point. Like, it must not just be like I have these 2 different personalities, whatever. So there's obviously a me that's in the middle, and I didn't really like understand why I felt like that. So I remember like just thinking about that for like a little while. And since like late January, early February, I recently have felt more like myself than I think I ever have before. I just felt more chosen. Like, I feel like chosen is a really good, like, word and a value to say. Yourself. Yeah, I was finding myself, and I had never felt like that before. So it was such a good, like, way of seeing it, like, looking back now this week, because going in the moment, I would have never realized that. And now looking back at it, I really did realize it. So I guess, like, what I'm saying is that also, before, during quarantine, I feel like we have all had, like, the moment to just, like, reflect on all of ourselves. And I think that that's why I felt more like myself. And honestly, who knows, like, if it wouldn't have been for quarantine, who knows if the value of the month would have been chosen. Like, whatever, I don't know if you guys have a plan, but so if it would have been, like, not been chosen, who knows if I would have gone back and realized, okay, this is, like, myself that I've, you know, like, not realized that I've acted like. So that really, like, helped me. And, you know, finding, like, the whole, like, during the whole quarantine, like, really reflecting on yourself, you really figured out that we are all chosen to go through everything that's going on right now. We are all chosen to go through it together and to stand together and to be super supportive of each other and to just be super strong. Because, like, obviously this is super, like, this, we never would have ever thought that this would be happening right now. Like, who would have thought? So it's honestly made such a difference. Like, just this week, really, like, actually reflecting on everything that chosen means to me, and during quarantine and stuff, it's made such a difference. So if you're like me that didn't realize that you were chosen until recently, it's honestly so, like, good. And don't worry, because you're obviously gonna know that you're chosen when you know. We are all here for a purpose. No one has the same DNA as you. No one is like you. You're unique in your own way. And if you don't know that yet, if you don't feel that yet, trust me, you're going to feel that way, and you might not even notice. Like, for example, me, I didn't even notice it until looking back. And I think that that's, like, really, really cool. Like, that I got, that Miss Saida asked me to do chosen, because it actually, like, came out good. It was made for you. Yeah, so it came out really good. And yeah.
Yeah, and you guys haven't noticed chosen is one of our most important values. Actually, the first part of our pledge is I am a unique and extraordinary individual, which basically says that you are chosen. So if you haven't noticed, if you haven't learned our pledge, you should go do that, because free evaluations, you gotta know them. Evaluations in 6 months. Period. Just saying. But yes, thank you so much for your speech. It was amazing. But I do have some questions for you, Bella. I do have some questions. So, no, it's my girl. So, I loved it. I was listening to your story, but I have a question. So, when you were saying how you were, like, you had your friend groups, or, like, you felt yourself here, you felt something else when you were there, you said that it was negative, but then you said that you found, like, that helped you realize that you were chosen. What do you mean by that? Like, describe that. Like, what really did help you see, like, that you were chosen or not?
I honestly don't know. Like, this week, like, I don't know. So honest with you. Like, this week, I've actually, like, every single day, I've, like, told myself, okay, you're gonna go through this, you're gonna say this, right? But how are you gonna say it? Like, I even myself was getting confused. I was like, what are you saying? So I honestly don't know, because, like I said, neither was negative. I just felt different. And recently, this is kind of, like, really random, but I've had really, like, big vibes. Like, I don't know if that even, like, makes sense, but I've had, like, really big, like, vibes, yeah, and feelings and stuff. And I don't know, I had this feeling that I felt like I was two different personalities. Like, they were both me, but there was just not me. Like, it was parts of me, yeah. And it was weird. So, and then around January, when I started to realize that, I was like, well, what the heck? Like, why do I feel like this? And I don't know, it just kind of happened. Like, I just, like, reflect on myself.
You found your one person.
I found my one person, and I don't know if it was just, like, me in between, like, my friends, just acting more like how I wanted to act and not, like, how I was supposed to act, I guess. Yeah, I was being me. So, and I think that that's kind of how I just, like, found it. And it's, like, honestly crazy, because I feel like at that moment, I was not realizing it at all. So it's, like, kind of crazy, but yeah.
It's kind of crazy. So, one last question. Okay, so you were telling us how you noticed that you were being, like, that you are chosen by being you in the midst of other things and just staying true to yourself, which is super important. But my second question, well, to you and to you, at home, if you want to go ahead and think about this, maybe you have an answer for this, or I don't know what Anabella's answer is going to be. But what do you think makes you, you? Like, what is it that, like you said, we don't have the same DNA, like DNA. We don't have
You can tell.
So, we don't have the same DNA. You're not me. I'm not you. You're not Noah. Noah's not you. Like, what do you think makes you you? What makes you your own chosen, like your own person? Like, or you? What makes you you? Like, if you want to comment it, you can too.
I feel like a lot of it, like obviously the different parts that I feel like make up me, but honestly the really positive like vibes I get from friends or from like other people that I surround myself with, and which influence me to act myself. But I feel like my personality, my bubbly personality, obviously, well, like the personality that I feel is me. I feel like that's what makes me me, and I guess kind of how I was raised. I guess because that kind of says something. But yeah, I think that's like.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're very positive. Yeah. You're super bubbly and lovely. You're super. Yes. Hi. Hey.
So I wanted to say something.
Yay!
Wait,
yeah, you can see.
Okay, so going back to what you were saying, how you felt like you don't know what you felt between these two groups, but it was kind of like you don't know how to say it. Mm-hmm. So maybe that could be. I know we believe in God. Okay. So that's like our number one right now. So maybe it could be that God maybe was trying to tell you something. He didn't know what it was yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe one of those groups was not going to be the best group for you. So maybe God was just trying to point you in the right direction. Yeah, point you in the right direction before you even noticed that maybe it wasn't the right group for you because you weren't acting like yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a lot of people go through that in high school. They try to act like someone else, you know, and eventually it gets bad. But maybe God was just trying to put you in, and you didn't even notice. It was just like blessed. You know
I don't think it was like.
You don't think like that one of the groups was bad?
No,
like,
no.
She just
and neither groups were bad. Like I actually mean that, but like it was just I actually don't even know. Like it's just a feeling that I felt like I had. Like it literally wasn't negative at all. Like I still like both friend groups are just me. They're still me. It was just that like. I don't know. I found the person. Yeah, I found.
Or maybe or maybe it was just like finding yourself.
Finding myself. I think that's
like what it was. I was here, because you're still young, so you still like are trying to like find yourself and who you are. So maybe that just helped you find yourself, put yourself together.
Mm-hmm. And most importantly, stay being
true to yourself.
Which was really important.
In your case, it wasn't that you had two friend groups and there was one that was one and then another one that was a different one, so you were changing between. That wasn't your case, but in other people's cases it is. In other people it's in one case they're the loud one, in the other case they're the quiet one, and they're not being true to themselves. And in your case you weren't, and you were actually chosen being yourself. So I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I don't know if anybody has any questions, but you guys can comment any questions that you have for Miss Anabella or that you would like to ask her. If you have anything to say, I know it takes a little bit of time to type, but if not, then we will be moving on. Give it 2 more minutes just in case. That's okay. Miss Abby, do we have any new contestants for our raffle?
If any of you guys in the live have not done so yet, there is a challenge on the BB Arts Instagram that if you comment why you believe you are chosen, you are put into a raffle to win a pop socket. Now, I don't know if you guys have one yet.
Exclusive.
Do we have one yet? As of right now, we do not have any more. A pop socket. The last one was about 15 more minutes ago.
Wait, we have one question, guys. I'm sorry. We have one question from Misty. Misty says, what makes Abby, or Noe, or Sarah, you? So, Misty put a question? Yeah, Misty put a question. So, let's do maybe like 1 or 2 words. Like, what makes Miss Abby Miss Abby?
I think what makes me me is, number one, because God made me, so sometimes you don't even know. But I think that I know that I have a passion for like helping people. So I feel like that's my purpose, I guess, in life, to like help people, especially now that I'm into this whole fitness thing, like helping people find themselves and be happy with themselves. So I feel like that's my purpose, or one of my purposes. But yeah. And also what makes me me is like, I guess that I'm like sometimes clumsy or forgetful, you know, that's never gonna change.
We all have our things that we got. We all have our strengths.
So that makes me, that wasn't 2 words, but it's okay.
No, but it's true. What makes you true is that you are a very humble.
We all have our own personalities, and that's what
Yeah.
makes us us. But I do feel that a lot of what we become is from what we surround ourselves with.
Yeah.
So we really need to work on surrounding ourselves with good people, people that we look up to, people that can help us in the future. Our parents put so much work into us. I work so much. And yes, just keep working on yourself. Keep realizing who you are, what makes you chosen. And Sarah, do you have anything to add?
What about you? What makes
What
you
makes
chosen?
you-
I just said thank your parents, but you said
What makes me me? Oh, okay.
I'm
sorry.
what thank you, mommy. That's it.
Thank you, mommy. So, what makes me chosen? That's kind of, I guess, my strong personality. I don't know. I feel like I was born with like a purpose to like. I don't think I have the same like helping personality that Abby has. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't like helping people. I love helping people, but like she was like her purpose is to like she loves like her passion is to help people with their health and their fitness. But like I don't really know what my purpose is yet. That is something that God is still not shown to me. It's not my right time, but
That's super normal.
I'm still growing. Everything, everyone is I'm still growing. Hopefully not up, but just like internally, y'all know.
Guys, she's grown. I'm telling you, she's
Just
grown.
not.
Look at this. What the
I think that she's getting shorter. It is
No,
not.
no,
It
no,
cannot
no,
possibly
no, no.
be me. I'm not gonna be 6 foot, you know. But
Okay.
yeah, I feel like my strong character and like who I am and what I believe really makes me me. That's my answer.
No.
No.
Okay, so what makes me me? I think that also, like Miss Lemmy said, is true. Everybody has their own personality, which kind of makes them them. So I think that like part of my personality that makes me me is that I'm very loud, a little extroverted, a little bit top sometimes. So yeah, I'm very all over the place. I think I don't know, a lot of the things that interest me too. I like to always like kind of like bring people together, and I like to plan things and make sure like that everything is nice and that everybody's enjoying themselves.
She's
and
the
things
one
run smoothly.
who does the setup for us for our hot talk.
I have like an obsession with like making sure that everything is right.
She's super creative. That's one thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah, like I think those things are like I don't know. Yeah, just like bringing people together, it makes me me, and like well yeah.
She makes you laugh a lot.
Oh, that too.
Yeah,
That's
a
part
lot.
of the top part. That's part of the like. So there's
Yeah, that's a little
sorry,
bit of it.
2 months with her has made me lots of jokes. It's just not good for me.
Around here.
Okay, that's enough. So.